Oh yeah, just like I told you guys yesterday, Melyssa Ford wants all the smoke. Melyssa Ford has officially launched season 3 of her podcast, Hot and Bothered. Right. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, she's coming out swinging this first episode. 2 days ago, Mel announced that her first guest was going to be none other than Charlemagne. If you guys missed the video yesterday, please make sure you guys go check it out. Now, the episode has officially dropped. You guys can go watch it on Spotify or her YouTube channel. They spoke about Charlemagne's rise in media, how Charlemagne went from being a shock jock in media to now being one of the most influential and powerful people in podcasting. They also spoke about the right way to build a media empire. And you guys know it would not be a fiery first podcast episode if Mel did not take shots at her old job. Now, initially, everybody anticipated the shots to come from Charlemagne, but no, it was actually Mel that was taking the shots in this episode. Really? Now, while Charlemagne and Melyssa Ford were talking about red pill content and also the manosphere, Mel pretty much called out her old co-host on the Joe Budden podcast for being women-hating, no respect having misogynist. Here's what she said.
4 young black boys. I can't remember what the podcast is called right now, but I mean.
Oh, you're talking about
it starts with a J.
Jamming?
Yes,
like
yes.
Yeah, they're from Chicago, I think.
I love them. I love them because it's just they take men and brosphere and red pillars to task. And their rhetoric is so respectful towards women, and they just have so much common sense for being so young. So I follow them. I follow Deontay Kyle. I definitely have an algorithm full of men that are, that are allies to women. But I will also find myself in the comment section of certain things, and it's just. It's very polarizing, and it pulls you. And especially, I've had my own experiences of being around a certain type of a certain group of men who exhibit groupthink, and that groupthink tends to lean very misogynistically. So it has an effect on you, as somebody who's just kind of like absorbing it. Simply just because I'm a woman and I'm the woman in the room kind of thing. It's just...
I listen, are there fuck boys out here? Yes. But I still believe in the circle of trust of humans. And I believe that the shooting percentage when it comes to the circle of trust of humans is still very, very high in spite of all the bullshit. And what do I mean by that? We wake up every day, every single one of us, and we trust that we not gonna go crazy. I don't know none of these people in this room, but one of these motherfuckers could go crazy and fuck up the whole day for everybody. You could go to freaking Dunkin' Donuts and order a coffee, and it's that one person in the back who might decide, I'm gonna put some fucking, fentanyl or arson in her shit. Or you might get in the car with the Uber driver and that person decided to run off the road. My point is, we don't think about that type of stuff. You don't go into Dunkin' Donuts and think somebody's gonna put arson into your fucking drink. You don't order the Uber and jump in the car and think this person's gonna run me off the highway. You don't walk in rooms with perfect strangers and be like, okay, who's gonna be the person that shoots this shit up? So there's a circle of trust that exists amongst humans. And in spite of all of the bullshit, we do pretty good at making sure that all of us are safe and protected. So I can't base everything off, just the bullshit. Now, do I, raise my daughters with that mentality? Yes, but I also let them know to be aware. Just like right now, I'm aware. I wouldn't walk in here with my own shooter if I wasn't aware. You know what I'm saying?
Now, first of all, props to Charlemagne for not taking this easy bait from Melyssa. If this was 5 years ago, we would have seen Charlemagne complete the illest alley-oop right there. That was easily a trap set for Charlemagne to say, well, tell me more about these women-hating misogynists that you used to work with, Melyssa. But Charlemagne skipped on right past it. Now, let's be honest here. I think this is part of why a lot of men did not like Melyssa Ford on the podcast. A lot of people felt like Mel never liked to take accountability for anything she said about men. Not only that, but she always saw herself as a victim on the podcast. If the men on the podcast do not agree with anything you're saying about a certain topic, that does not classify the men as misogynist. Most times we saw Mel and Ish or Mel and Joe or Mel and pretty much anybody up there get into an argument. 9 times out of 10, it was a topic that had to do with gender. If you guys watch the podcast, Ish, Joe, Ice, They do not consider themselves to be anything close to a red pill podcast. But this is all from her perspective. We don't know what went on behind the scenes at the Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah, we don't know what went on behind the scenes. Let me vibe with y'all a minute. It's the part where I give y'all my breakdown. Make sure y'all hit that like, that hype, and that comment button. Now, I would say with Mel, she did play the victim a lot. And she was called out for that. She's been called out for playing the victim and playing like, you know, every time somebody calls her on her BS, she would just play the victim, which was kind of corny. And which a lot of the times it would make me want her to get off the podcast because I'm not a red pillar, but I am big on accountability. I am big on staying consistent, and I am big on being disciplined as a human, not even just as a man or just whatever. It's just as a human. And if you can't take accountability when somebody calls you on your BS, or every time you're the victim, somebody wants to challenge you, I would prefer you not to be around me personally. That don't got nothing to do with male or females. That just got to do with just how things go. And you can also see in the response by Charlemagne how he kind of shut it down like, nah, that ain't how it go. You're just choosing to see the world from that lens, but that's what victims do. So it's your boy Jetski J. If ain't nobody told you they love y'all, you know I love y'all. Make sure y'all drop a like, a hype, and a comment on this. Now I'm gonna drop 2 more bangers. One right here, one right here. Both of them are bangers. I'm gonna meet y'all in those videos. I'm out, y'all. Make sure y'all not playing the victim, y'all.